What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family, bringing you guys another update on the Dallas Cowboys. Give us just a minute as we check our audio, and we'll be right with you guys.
What's up, everyone out there? Hello and welcome. I must remember to lower my phone. Oh, guys, I hope you guys are hanging in there. Yeah, there's Zach, first one to comment, of course. And congratulations to your Packers from yesterday, first and foremost. Let's start off with that. We're gonna do a lot of conversing about what the situation is as far as the game yesterday, along with other things.
Looks like both mics are good, guys. Again, this is our first stream, our first daily live stream with 2 microphones. So I just want to give another quick shout out to Cowboys Abroad and DJ Crown J, who were the ones who donated money to our Patreon account so that we were able to get the second microphone, guys. So big shout out to you guys, and again to all you guys out there in the chat, in the stream, watching, commenting, liking, sharing, all of that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all.
So let me see,
and watching the
Zach
ads.
Kostoff, New York Giant for life. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Robert Utz, you'll need to change teams or you're going to be sad almost every week. Guys, no, sorry.
We don't change teams.
Yeah, it's not about sadness. We suffer.
Well, it is about sadness. I hate it, but it's really downing and it sucks. Disappointing.
There's no reason why you should ever jump ship.
Never.
You know, it just,
your team. I haven't changed it. I've been a Cowboy fan when they were 1-15. You know, I'm never going to change ever.
Yeah, and Zach Kostoff, again, we were very surprised at that halftime score. And very optimistic at that point. We're, still scared, still very cognizant of the fact that Aaron Rodgers is still right there, ready to score, and score he did. And unfortunately, that combined with a lot of other things, and we'll be getting into that shortly, guys. We do want to start off by just some other Cowboy news. First and foremost is the Ezekiel Elliott. Still no update, guys. So definitely make sure to hit that
another day in the courts.
Bell.
Hit the notification.
We're waiting just like you guys are. As soon as we know, we'll definitely be bringing you guys the news.
Yeah, and guys, just so you know, of course, especially if we have a Giant fan in here right now.
Yeah, so you guys, I mean,
Odell's gone for the year, broke his leg, and basically,
injury.
I mean, guys, that was a bad injury, season ending. It's it sucks. They also lost Brandon Marshall, they lost Sterling Shepard. Giants are in huge trouble. They have a bad offensive line. They have no real running game. Even Orleans Darkwa was hurt as well. I don't know how serious that was, but everybody's out. It's just a horrific season for the Giants. A horrific season for us, even though we have 2 wins. Still, guys, we have Zeke. These games have flown by, 5 out of the 6. Yeah. And we've really underutilized Zeke as far as I'm concerned. But we'll talk, again, more about that later.
Yeah, so Manuel Corona, what's up? Yeah, that was
a
heartbreaker.
How you doing? Steve,
it really did hurt.
Scoggins, what's up? How you doing? Robert Utz.
Yeah, so going back to watching baseball, anybody want to buy some Cowboys gear?
Yeah, man, listen, you can take the hat but not the heart. And, I do believe that still long enough season, guys, 11 games. I'm not trying to say, look, we're never going to give up hope as long as there is hope. Exactly. And there's still a lot of division games to be played, okay? And we have to play the Eagles. We got to play the Giants again. We got to play the Redskins twice. These are all tough games across the board. I don't care if they're in Dallas, which they obviously Cowboys seem to lose more often.
I don't care who they're missing. I don't care what's going on. Division games are always going to be tough. And, the NFC East, we're notorious for being, very close games.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's always close no matter what's going on.
Right. And again, most every division, I guess, is like that. But ours has always been, it just seems to every year, no matter what, even if you have 1 win, you're still going to be a tough team, guys. And even when the Eagles play the Giants and the Eagles play the Skins and the Redskins play the Giants and all these teams intertwine and play each other just like we will play them, you're going to see closer games than most people believe with the Eagles against any division foe.
But one good point New York Giant for Life makes, he says top 3 draft picks. So again, if the Giants have a bad enough season that they end up getting a really good draft pick and they get a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, the way that we were able to get him after that horrific 2015
But do they want someone like Ezekiel Elliott, or do they need an offensive lineman?
I'm not saying Ezekiel Elliott. I'm just saying, they'll invest, and they'll get, a really, really great, amazing, game-changing player.
I think it's the first week that I, as a NFL football fan have looked at the Giants as non-biased as possible and say it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
And you know, I understand that feeling.
Like, not just excited, like, oh yay, they're crashing and burning. We want them to be done. You know,
Yeah.
like this is actual.
Yeah,
we're not sure how they can recover from being 0-5. I mean,
yeah, it's just too
I don't
much of
think
a
any team
hole.
can recover from being
And
0-5.
yeah, too much of a hole, and just it's just not enough there anymore. You know, Eli definitely has never been a consistent quarterback. And you know, when it comes to the Giants, that's their downfall. But again,
and
we
Johnson,
don't play them till December.
Us.
So yeah, Jimmy Johnson. Hopefully, it's Coach
Boomer
Johnson.
Sooner.
Boomer Sooner, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, we'll get to Jason Garrett, all that in a minute. I'm gonna break that down, the whole thing, and my impressions of that situation, and you're gonna throw in some stuff too.
Yeah, guys. So just a quick recap. No update on the Zeke information, but make sure to hit that notification bell. We will be breaking the news as soon as we know. Chris Sr., what's up? Anthony Mixon, I'd rather have Bryce Butler over Williams. So, again, we're going to touch on all that. But let's move on to some injuries.
I mean, I'm going to hit that one real quick because just for a second, because Terrence Williams, the only thing about him is that he blocks so well. Bryce Butler is not as good as a blocker.
He's too tiny.
Well, no, he's not tiny. He's just like, well, yeah, he's thinner.
Terrence Williams is just a little bulkier, a little wider.
But he knows how to put the hand, where to place the hands when it comes to blocking, and he does well blocking down the field. But yeah, as far as his bonehead plays, he's had a couple of them. We all know the one last year with the Giants, but he's had other ones like that. And he makes some great athletic plays, but sometimes he makes some boneheaded plays.
Yeah, and again against the Rams, he had that one where, you know, that it wasn't it was almost a touchdown, right? Where it hit his hands, or was I think it was just
no, it was the one in the back of the end zone where he dropped it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying he drops too many.
Yeah,
he drops. It was a 2-point conversion that would have tied the game. So, yeah, I mean, it's just look, T. Will, he's basically a low end second receiver, and that's what he is for us. And again, complemented with Dez Bryant, they're both similar styles. So you're really losing on speed when it comes to that. You know, when it comes to having Dez and T. Will out there. Someone like Bryce Butler is more athletic, maybe faster. You know, so you know he could be somebody that
can get down the field faster.
Unfortunately, we have T. Will for 4 years, getting paid $17 million in those 4 years combined, you know, total. While Bryce Butler has getting paid just 1 year deal, and he's going to be asking for a lot of money next year. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with that. But DJ Crown J, thanks for joining us. What's up?
And Cowboys Abroad. What's up?
Let me see. Zach Kostoff, even though I hate saying that, but it was the wrong call. And Jimmy Johnson, sad injuries for JJ and Odell. Just saying. So, yeah, guys, JJ Watt has a broken, what is it? A broken bone inside of his knee or something?
It's a similar one to what Hitchens had, similar to what Dez Bryant had last year.
Oh, okay.
Similar kind of injury. It's like 8 weeks or so. We don't know what else might have been other injury-related stuff to that knee. I'm not sure. They're saying he's gone for the year, so.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, Odell, as we know, gone for the year.
Let me hit you guys up with some quick facts here about the game and updates on Cowboy stuff here. Dez Bryant now has 483 career receptions. That moves him past Tony Hill, guys, for 5th all-time in Cowboys team history. Just a little side note to take note of. We'll talk about about Dez Bryant later and what he needs to do to get better.
Continue to improve on.
Yeah, he needs to make those catches. He's just plain and simple, you know. So
I agree.
Dak Prescott threw for 3,667 yards and 23 touchdowns last year. So right now, if it goes the way it's going, which again, I'm going to make a comment on this right now. If it goes the rest of the last 11 games, he should get around 3,814 yards. So it's about 200 yards more, though 150 yards more, and 35 touchdowns this season. Now that's great, and I like that.
But it also shows that they're putting him to work more, that they're making him pass more.
Is there a need? My question exactly,
right?
and that's 100% true. I mean, you're basically you're saying you're running less.
Yeah.
So that tells me, are you abandoning the run? This is what it's showing. If you project this to the rest of the season, it's not on Dak. It's about the coaching on this. So I don't like this. That means we're going to be playing from behind a lot, or trying to catch up at the end of games. We can't afford to do that, guys. And again, I understand the stats are nice, and again, Dak is the man. Trust me. After this game, he played great. As far as Ezekiel Elliott's concerned, guys, fastest NFL running back to 2,000 career rushing yards in history. Eric Dickerson did it in 18 games to get to 2,000 yards. Earl Campbell from the Houston the Houston what's the Oilers? Jeez, from the '80s. Yeah, Houston way back then. Yeah, I mean, you guys know Eric Dickerson from the Los Angeles Rams. He did it in 18 games. Earl Campbell did it in 20 games. Ezekiel Elliott did it in 20 games. That was his 20th game, guys, and he did it. So, that's very good for him. And again, something that the Cowboy coaches should be keeping in mind because he is such a dominant running back.
Yeah, guys.
We're averaging pretty well, a lot of pretty well in that fourth quarter, and I think we were doing very well if we had stuck to it a little bit longer earlier in the game.
Yeah, guys. So
third quarters and beyond.
Now to move on to some. Unfortunately, some more Anthem stuff. We're going to go ahead and keep it kind of short and sweet here, but it does directly involve Jerry Jones and some comments that he has made very recently. And tying in with that, DeMontre Moore and David Irving, after the Anthem, raised their fists in the air. So after this, they were asking Jason Garrett at the conference, are they going to be punished or is there going to be some kind of chastisement for them protesting at the Anthem? And Garrett said, no, there's no plans of, chastising them, no discipline. So,
which I am agreeing with.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And again, we don't feel like there should be. Jerry Jones did make some comments recently within the last hour, half an hour.
Well, he made them last night, and he made some comments regarding that the Cowboy players, if you don't stand, you're going to be benched. That was pretty general. It was right after the game. People were saying that might have been emotion. Emotion. He might have been emotional about losing the game and the way it happened, and with the whole David Irving and DeMontre Moore, pregame anthem, pregame but post anthem. Are raising fists in the air. So and then that led to what happened about an hour and a half ago, and that was a recent interview that he had over the phone, and he said I mean, I don't know. I think he's definitely going over the deep end on this a little bit, in my opinion. Jerry Jones, I feel bad. I cannot defend him in what he's saying right now as a Cowboy fan. As a person who loves America and wants to abide by the Constitution, but there's nothing in the rule books that say what he's saying now. And again, I'm trying to see what it is that he quoting him exactly.
I think in general, he just said that, any Dallas Cowboy players that sit or protest during the anthem will not be allowed to play, that they're going to sit. That's it. Yeah, and that he's saying that there's a rule or something in the NFL handbook that kind of backs him up.
And here's what it says. Jerry Jones emphasized NFL game ops manual. So that's basically the rule book for the NFL. He said it several times, and he said this several times, basically. You know who reminded me about the game ops policy? Donald Trump. Now, I don't want to, I don't want to get political here.
Yeah, but it does feel awfully convenient that the same person who's publicly made comments that he doesn't like these protests happens to conveniently point out to America's team that
and someone who voted for him, who publicly voted for him
in this book. And guys, it has been confirmed there's no such policy in there. Various sources are all saying there's no such policy.
Now there's people are saying out there in the world and asking this question, that can a business owner no longer require his employees to abide by the rules he sets as the owner of said business? Which means, can't a company, a private business, a private entity be able to have their own set of rules that they can hire and fire people on? And, as long as it's not discriminatory, yes, that is true to an extent. But that's not what's being said here. See, Jerry Jones is saying that, there's an NFL rule in place that tells the players they have to stand. NFL rules, and you guys can check this if you'd like. NFL rules specifically says the players should stand for the anthem. Should. Doesn't mean yes, you have to. Doesn't mean you get disciplined for that. There's nothing there that says you get disciplined for not standing for the anthem. And in the end, there's no rule in the NFL that says that, even though Jerry Jones is citing one, that Donald Trump is telling him that there was one. And again, I'm not trying to get political. I'm literally just relaying the information to you guys.
Exactly. This is just about the rule book and Jerry Jones directly.
But since it does affect the Cowboys, I mean, this is a Cowboy issue right now, and it's going to be in the headlines. It just broke.
By Jerry Jones just, saying the comments that he said and Donald Trump being involved, it does politicize it to an extent. That's just true. by virtue of, being involved with the president. So however you feel about it, regardless, it does politicize it, and
Jerry Jones is
regardless
just not
of whatever side you are on, you can like that or dislike that.
I mean, the only thing I'm saying, whether I agree or not with Jerry Jones or Donald Trump or whoever, whether you guys do or not, that's to each their own. But my point is that for Donald Trump to be involved in something that he really knows nothing about, He doesn't know about this rule. It does not say that the players have to stand. And that in itself says you're wrong, Donald Trump / Jerry Jones. And being a Cowboy fan, it pains me to have to do this and criticize Jerry Jones, but he's an idiot in this situation.
And again, in a very public way that makes the whole Cowboys organization just look kind of dumb, to be honest.
And now this is the last thing you got to worry. And honestly, you know what? In the end, this is the last thing he should be worrying about.
Exactly.
He should be worried about getting his team on the right track and focusing.
He should be worried about some of the decisions that some people
that he hired,
coaches, have decided to make on our team. And we're going to really give you the breakdown, obviously, shortly, as soon as we're done with the news here. We are going to catch up with your comments as soon as we're done with the news.
Yeah, let me throw a couple things out real quick.
Comments, guys.
Jason Garrett said that basically what he said today in his press conference about not running more time off the clock, which you're going to go into much detail about that on Sunday, was because he said, quote, you have to be careful about being too cute.
I don't think there's anything cute about giving Aaron Rodgers a minute and 13 seconds to score on you when he did it the year before in less than that.
That's why he's saying that the Cowboys don't want to get too cute by taking a chance and not scoring a touchdown. And we're going to talk about that. That's what he's saying. You understand? So he's saying that, you're getting too cute by holding up too much time, and then you're going to end up not scoring at all.
That's not cute. That's smart football. You're being dumb.
Being too cute is throwing the ball into the end zone and stopping the clock. That's being cute and dumb. So, again, Garrett loses there on that one as far as I'm concerned. Now, listen here. A little side note. Since 2010, guys, this is freaking horrible. And we need more Cowboy fans out there screaming and yelling. I was there in 2009 for the old stadium. So this 2010 is a new stadium. So basically at the new stadium, the Cowboys have had twice as many home losses than any other team since 2010, guys, when scoring 30 points at home. So we've scored 30 points at home and lost more than twice as much than every other team out there. That's embarrassing. At home.
Remind me to see the Cowboys on the road if we ever go see them. And obviously
that's going to be
the most likely thing that
scenario
happens. But
for
man,
us. I like us on the road much better, but not against a lot.
That's not a good stat to have.
It's not,
guys.
And also not against these teams that we're going to be playing this year, not on the road, guys. Another stat: Cowboys have now allowed 35 points or more, basically, in the last 3 of their 4 games. And you know what they are. I'm not going to go through them with you. Looks like a lot like 2013 when we had it was like every week we were just getting 30 and 40 points scored on us, and it was just embarrassing. That was before. It was right around you.
Yeah, that was
years.
Still just very, very just starting to watch.
And the last thing about Dak, I'm going to say, guys, you got to give credit where credit is due. Dak is doing great, even though I do think he had a bad second half against the Rams. He did do very, very good against the Cardinals. He did very good yesterday when he was given the chance to and put in good positions.
Yeah.
Not bad positions by the coaching staff, but he has basically over his last 3 games, 64.4 completion percentage. He has 686 passing yards. He has 8 touchdown passes, guys. He has 2 interceptions. And he has 107.9, so basically 108 passer rating, guys. He has 2 rushing touchdowns on top of that. The guy's been the glue that held us together this long against teams that can score a lot of points, like the Rams, like the Packers. These teams are high-scoring teams. We assume that they were probably going to be giving us some trouble in that department, and it shows. But in the end, again, there's a lot of things that have to be corrected on this team for us to even have a shot to make the playoffs this year. Forget about winning the division. I mean, it starts and ends with winning the division games. That's the most important thing. We win the division games, we got ourselves a good shot to get in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, we have to win I would say we win them all. We're in good shape, to win the division. But we got to count on winning some other games too. 1 or 2 of these tough games on the road.
I agree. So we're going to go ahead and get into that in a minute. But first, I want to go ahead and catch up with some of the comments here in the chat, guys.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's see. So here, I'm not going to go too far back, but let me see. Cowboys abroad. Dak's thrown 11 touchdowns this year and 2 running touchdowns. Tommy Cross, a knowledgeable safety, would have been aware a rookie cornerback was covering a great receiver and helped him over the top. So who is the knowledgeable safety? Are you saying that would be, Jones?
Okay, what was it?
They're saying that, so Tommy Cross said, a knowledgeable safety would have been aware a rookie cornerback was covering a great receiver. So rookie cornerback, I'm guessing Jordan Lewis, and then
right, and that was Jeff Heath in that spot, guys.
And
Jeff Heath.
Jeff Heath.
Jeff Heath was on that side, and he was supposed to move over a little bit more to discourage that play occurring again.
Yeah, so,
and he did not move over. Aaron Rodgers saw it. He did the same play, touchdown. And Jordan Lewis played as good as you can play, guys. He was just a half second too slow the first time, and probably a little more than half a second slower on the next one. And it's unfortunate because he could have had a pick on that play. And again, he's a rookie playing his fourth game, I think. Something like that. I mean, you got to give this guy credit. He's in my opinion, overall, as far as this season has played out, he's our best cornerback.
I agree.
And when you look at him,
don't cut him out because of one bad play that was just.
I mean, he's had a couple blown plays, but as a rookie, you got to give him the credit. And again, I don't put anything on him on this. He played as good as you can play.
Yeah.
You have, Skandrick had some bad plays, but he played against Cobb. So I do think that
Cobb did not get much work.
Exactly. So in that department, Skandrick did well. In other departments, Skandrick didn't do that great, and he's too inconsistent in general. But he did well against stopping Cobb from getting many catches. Jordy Nelson, who was covered by not Byron Jones, but he was covered by Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown was getting. We have more questions. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say that Anthony Brown was breaking down a lot yesterday. He did break down a lot more than usual. He seems to be going through that sophomore slump, but I do like what Byron Jones did. I do not like what Jeff Heath did. Byron Jones covered Martellus Bryant, and he made some unbelievable catches with some unbelievable passes by Rodgers. So again, guys, the defense. You see, I just kind of quickly went over the backfield there. You see the issues, but there's a lot of upside coming on this defense. So, and we have to talk about Nolan Carroll, and we got to talk about Chidobe Awuzie, guys, who got injured. Unfortunately, his hamstring. He played 3 plays, got injured. His hamstring again. Hamstring. Yeah, you guys heard me right. The hamstring once again. So, hamstring. We don't know the extent of his injury, how long he's going to be out for. I am optimistic that because it is something that he only played 3 plays in, and hopefully it was just precautionary. Hopefully these 2 weeks are going to get him back in there against the 49ers, and will be fully equipped with Sean Lee. That's the only 2 real big injuries. Chaz Green, unfortunately, prepped the whole week and didn't play. Jonathan Cooper went and played, and Cooper was better than he did last week, but still was behind, not as good as Green, and still was, Chaz Green's got to fight through some injuries to get on that damn field. That's my opinion.
Yeah, so Salalani, do you think we should fire Jason Garrett? Yes.
Yes. I think, again, if you say about right now, this moment, I don't know. I don't know what you say. I mean, I don't know if that's even going to happen.
Yeah, and honestly, it probably hurt the team in general.
Exactly, but Jerry Jones, he's not planning on firing him. Trust me. He's going to keep him on there and BS it all the way till he's going to talk the Cowboy Nation, Cowboy fans, and et cetera, to say, hey, let's give him a chance. He just had a down year. We see next year what happens if we don't have Ezekiel Elliott. What was going to happen when we start off without Zeke for 6 games? We already had him for 5, and he's had a horrible start overall.
Corey Mussadin actually has a good question. What do you think is Elliott's problem? Is it the issues from the preseason? So I can't imagine that it's not having an effect. Like, it has to be affecting him somehow.
I agree.
It just, you can't go through something like this.
But it's not the whole. That's not the whole thing.
But that's not the only thing. Exactly, guys. I mean, a few of you guys kind of said it. Our offensive line is really
right. It has to get more cohesive still. Yeah. It's still not there. We still have Chaz Green missing. I think Collins did decent yesterday for the most part. I think all the guys. I think a lot of guys missed blocks again. I think Witten missed the block. Hannah missed the block. It's just a lot of little mistakes by all the players in general, veterans or rookies or new guys. So there's an issue there, but it didn't kill us necessarily. We still had enough with it was Zeke's best rushing game yesterday, guys. I don't think we ran the ball enough. We didn't take advantage of the stops that we did get on defense. And 2 of those stops would have come if it wasn't for silly mistakes, whether you agree or not with the call. And again, I think the whole thing with Benson Mayowa was total BS. And I'm not even necessarily that the call would have been BS or not, but if you didn't blow the whistle yet, and even though you think you're stopping the play, there's replays of that and there's photos of that over and over again showing that the referee did not blow the whistle. Mayowa, how is he supposed to know that Rodgers is still standing up, and even though DeMarcus Lawrence has him by the leg, you're taught to attack. Now he's trying to avoid him, goes with the shoulder. Rodgers falls down into him, and then you have the penalty thrown. It was a sack right there in the 2-yard line. It was going to be 3rd and 30.
Exactly. So
that's a game changer. And then the Packers went down the field and scored a touchdown.
The thing about this game, and I have to say more so than I think Denver, more than even the Rams, This one really hurt, this loss, because we had this one. Like, that's it. Like, even more than the Rams,
we had both the last two games.
You know, in the last two games, exactly. We gave both of them away in very similar fashions where, you know, first of all, we got the ball first both times. And the first time with the Rams, I think we scored, and I think we got a field goal with Green Bay the first time. Or was it the other way around? Either way, we were able to put points on the board both times. But unfortunately, in both cases, the Rams and Green Bay both had the ball right before halftime, and they both managed to score. And they both had the ball when they came back in the second half, and they both managed to score, I think. So, and on top of that, the next time we had the ball, both times 3 and out. So, guys, it just kind of followed a predictable pattern of struggle. And then Green Bay had the ball for like 8 minutes. I don't think we got the ball again the entire third quarter.
We got it for one drive. So here's the thing, guys. On that drive in the third, one drive that we had 3 offensive plays in the fourth, which was the punt. I mean, that's it we had for the whole entire third quarter, guys. So the Packers flipped the script on us and became the Cowboys that we should have been doing. Yeah, and that's what the Rams did to us as well last week. Similar, not as well as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers did, but they still did it last week. So here's the thing. You get the ball, and what did the Cowboys do on first down? A pass to Dez. I'm pretty sure it was a Dak to Dez pass. Yeah. Incomplete. Now it's 2nd and 10. So now it's a predictable running play in a 2nd and 10 situation and lose 2 yards, okay? And again, when you asked about what the problem is, I do think the offensive line is a problem. Not as big as the coaching, but I think it's the play calling is the issue there, number one. And then, of course, there are some issues with cohesive play on the front line. I do agree with that, and that's definitely hurting us as well in the running game and the passing game. But back to the situation. So that's a second play. So now it's 3rd and 12, forcing a passing play, incomplete or whatever it was, short of a first down, punt the ball. I mean, that's a 3 and out, guys, and that's all we had in the third quarter. While the Packers, scored multiple times, and then again scored in the fourth quarter. I want to go into that play too with T. Will, and should not be passing the ball so pass happy, in my opinion, when you have the ball after stopping them on defense. You know, your defense stopped the Packers, made them punt. We'd have a 3-point lead and the ball. We run the ball, it's a 3-yard gain. That's awesome. Let's run it again. Maybe we'll get a 4-yard gain this time. That's the way it was going. Well, we passed the ball. Again, no excuse for T. Will to drop that. He should have had it, and that would have been maybe a first down. But why risk it? There was 3 Packers around him, and it hit off his shoulder. The 9 out of 10 times he catches that, but he dropped it, and he's not reliable enough. He's also too inconsistent. And that helped cost us the game. That's one of the plays. But that roots back to the coaching. So that's my opinion on that, guys. It's players being not the best out there when it comes to making the plays they have to make, but the coaches are not putting the players in the best situation to win and to succeed. So, sorry, baby. Go ahead. I know you want to go through some questions. I'm sorry, everybody out there. I'm ranting. Read them off.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of good comments. I'm going to try to go through them as fast as I can. Mr. I said, Jerry Jones got ESPN Jameel Hill suspended for 2 weeks. No lie. I'm guessing you're talking about the Anthem thing.
Yeah. Well, no, about what she said. This Jameel Hill, who decided to say that everybody should boycott Dallas Cowboys stuff. Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, then good for him. Let me see. Zero God loading. Feed Zeke more and burn the clock in the end zone. If you remember, Zeke went on a streak where he would get 8 or 9 yards every carry. Yeah, guys, I mean, we said that already. And, you know, the stats from this game prove if you give Zeke the ball more, we're going to get more points and we're going to be more successful. And that's overall, you know, I don't even want to get into that too much. But, yeah, so let me see. Elite Aubrey, Dak and Zeke tried to will us to victory. D and coaching are insufferable and the reason why we won't make the playoffs. And I think one of the things that really bothers me the most is the fact that the Dallas Cowboys, you know, themselves don't seem to want to admit that the coaching had anything to do with it. Like, not a peep, not a word, not barely any mention of the fact that someone somewhere had to approve of some of these decisions at least. Yeah. You know, maybe not all of them, but some of them, and especially some of these very critical ones towards the end of the game. There had to be some approval from Jason Garrett at some point, you know, and that's what the head coach is for.
I see what Cowboys broadcast said about you know, the defense has to be accountable for sure. But again, the strength of I rather would have lost with the strength of our team. Our strength of our team is the offensive line, the running game, And it was obvious on that last final drive we had the ball that and I say the final drive. The final drive was the two plays. The one to Beasley was incomplete, and then that flick, the trick play down the field, the last play of the game. I don't count that drive. I'm talking about the real last drive where we scored a touchdown with Dak on the run out pass option. The thing is that we had, control of this game. We had 17 plays in this drive. We could have definitely extended it a couple more. And again, there's nothing showing us that they were stopping us.
Exactly. So it just on
the ground, on the running game.
Just for this last offensive, drive that we had towards the end of the game, it was 17 plays, if I'm right.
17 plays, 17 almost 9 minutes.
Plays. So guys, 17 plays in 9 minutes. You're telling me that you couldn't, that after all that, all of a sudden this defense was gonna stop you when you had 8 yards to go? Like, guys, I'm sorry, but
the issue is
Look, and the biggest thing about this is the fact that we lost to them in such a similar fashion last year. I feel like we didn't learn anything at all from that loss. I feel like at least the staff, because this is a whole different team.
It's called adjustments.
So we should have been able So this team
and our team doesn't do adjustments. Not Jason Garrett.
With the defense we had, our defense was worse this year. For sure. And I think offensively, we also weren't as good as we were last year, because last year we were still on a hot streak and we were doing fantastic. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. But, the first game against Green Bay, forget about it. But then, of course,
I want to make
that big comeback.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I know. I agree. It hurts and it's all that. But
anyway, back to now. The point is we should have learned.
Well, exactly. And we didn't adjust. So we can't expect the Cowboys to adjust, because the Cowboys coaching staff have never shown adjustment starting from the top, from Jason Garrett. So Alid said about firing him. Yes, I would fire him today if we had somebody that was decent and able to handle it as a backup, as a to replace him. But I don't see that right now. We just can't end it like this in the middle of the season. But I say at the end of the season, cut him. That's I don't know what you got to do, buy him out. But he won't get rid of him because he needs him. And when Cowboys are brought, I want to mention that about putting it on the defense. A lot of people want to say the defense. There were 7 possessions, and Packers scored 4 touchdowns, offensive touchdowns, 28 points, and they got a field goal. So that's out of 7, they scored on 5 possessions. We know that Aaron Rodgers is able to do this. So is that a surprise? No. He does this to good defenses. He does this too. Yeah. So why would Jason Garrett choose?
No offense, bad
average
defense.
I say average defense, and again, that's without Sean Lee. We're below average. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And again, what I'm trying to say is that so Jason Garrett decided to rather lose the game, make Aaron Rodgers beat you, which he does not just to us but to much better defenses. So he said, let's either let him beat us, give him the timeout too, because of that passing play. And guys, I want to talk about that play because this all ties in. A decision making is a poor thing. So who was at fault on this? Was it Dak? Was it Garrett? Because it was a run pass option, meaning that he could either hand it off to Zeke and then throw it, meaning Dak, or he can hand it off to Zeke and then run out like he has the ball but he doesn't have it and Zeke runs it. If you look at the way the Cowboys front line was blocking for that, if you know anything about football, when the linemen go out and stand up,
that means that it's
a pass block.
So
when they come out and shoot out, it's a run block. The Cowboy front line stood up as a pass block. So this play, wherever it came from, it wasn't Dak's decision. Usually an option is for the quarterback. This is a run option because it was the scheme, but it was not Dak's decision on this. Exactly. It was the coach's decision to say, and the whole team knew that was a pass. That was going to be a pass, and that was it.
So that means that this wasn't that Dak decided to, do a pass play that time. That means that either came from the offensive coordinator through to Garrett, who approved it, who gave it to Dak, who went out there and tried to execute it. And guys, we all know what happened.
And trust me, guys, I looked into this a lot and really try to really get some good information, valid information on this that supports this kind of information. And that's the thing, guys. It's incredible to see when you really look at the film and you really see what's happening. You see that it gives it away. I mean, you can see what's happening. Okay, so they're showing a pass immediately when the linemen stand up. I mean, it could be a draw play, true, but again, then it would be a running play, which would be great. And again, and another thing is this: the Packers didn't have enough guys even there. The linebackers are way too far back. We needed 2 yards to get a first down and goal inside the 9-yard line. So you run the ball on 2nd and 2 is no brainer. You force them to take a timeout after you get the first down. Now you have 4 plays to score with a minute and 20 seconds left, and you control the game. You can't score in 4 plays. We deserve to lose. The point is, I feel better with our offense controlling the game without letting not allowing our defense. Right, counting on our defense against Aaron Rodgers. If you put Eli Manning back there, or even Trevor Siemian, I would say Run the get the touchdown as fast as you can. You know, a little less. I still would say waste some time if you can, but it's a little less concerning when it's those guys. When you talk about Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or Tom Brady, you better run the damn clock out, guys, as low as possible. It's part of winning the game. It's not part of just trying to be. What did he say? What did Garen say? Trying to be cute. Yeah. No, it's not about being cute. It's about winning the damn game. That's what he doesn't get.
Look, you have to play smart football against teams and against players like this, because that's how you win when you have a defense like this that's had such a big disadvantage. You have to play smarter, not harder, and not dumber, which is, it just, I don't know, guys. It's still hard for me to understand what the decision, what the thought process was there, but I don't know, guys.
A lot of good comments, though, I will say, about the coaching change and who would you have in there. I like it. Keep it up, guys. I love it. And I want to say congratulations first to How About Them Cowboys for winning the Survival League. He beat me this week.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the last
one.
Cowboys,
way to go.
We're going to do Corey's question. Yeah, I see Cowboys 42 out there. What's up? And
Corey
Mr.
just
Wright.
said about Frederick that he's worried, but now that's 2 calls in 2 games. And actually, I think he had one in the first game as well. But
well, the 2-point conversion is definitely debatable on that call. And I do want to talk about the calls that happened on defense, but we'll go ahead and answer some questions first.
So no, he's just saying that, should we be worried? Is it going to be a problem? I don't think it's going to be a problem necessarily, but I think overall, a lot of these dumb penalties, and let me just start off right off the bat. I think this game, in general, on both sides, these refs were just missing a lot of flags and calling a lot of dumb flags.
I mean, the end zone play with Des Bryant, and they called him for like a helmet to helmet or whatever it was. They called that a flag, gave us a first down, and eventually gave us a touchdown. Again, guys,
that was kind of an iffy call. I'm not sure if that should have really gone our way.
Not, and we called that out on the stream too. Like, well, we got lucky on that because it really shouldn't have gone that way. But I will say this on defense, the guys, and I gotta go through the 2 big plays, the 2 big plays that cost us.
We're not saying that these cost us the game. We're saying they affected the game, but I think on both sides, guys, like we said, there were definitely calls that were made that benefited both teams and hurt both teams that should not have been called. Guys,
and the thing is this here, but I'm saying this is not cost us. This is not because even with these things against us, we still had the game won if we played on offense. We played properly from the coaching staff, not from the players, from the coaching staff. So the issue is that huge play when DeMarcus Lawrence got the 4th sack of the game, but his 8.5 sack, his career high now. He got that sack. The referee did not blow the whistle, and you can see it in the video, pictures, whatever, audio. You can see it. Mayowa, however you say his name, but Benson Mayowa, he was still going after Rodgers. Rodgers ducked down. He went at him. He should never have dropped his helmet, and that's the main reason. Although the explanation by the refs was not that. They said that they had blown the whistle, and it was a late hit. It wasn't necessarily he hit at the top of his, with the crown of his helmet. So you can't go back on that, even though I would say it was more because of the helmet. But the referees explain it as being, the big issue being the fact that he hit him late after the whistle was blown. Yeah. The whistle was not blown. The players don't know. It cannot, they got to go by the rules, and they know it. They get trained in practice every day.
The whistle blows, you don't stop. And guys, it was just a...
Very unfortunate. It would have been 3rd and like 27 on their own 2-yard line. They would have probably run the ball or done a quick pitch off play, a quick little running play, a dump off to the running back, and they would have punted, would have had great field position, and then we get the ball back and win the game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Cowboys Abroad, I understand that thought process. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with scoring and trying to score when you have an opportunity. The point is, though, that you have to look at the bigger picture. You can't just look at the I need to score now.
Not again. Against most teams, you can't do that. You can do that and say, okay, we got to get those points first. That's the way you're supposed to look at it, but not against Aaron Rodgers. Not again when he's been doing this all game.
Yeah, and that's where I feel all the teams in the league. As preparation or game planning or just knowing our coaching staff, that you're playing, you have to again know your opponent. You have to really know the things that they're capable of doing.
But the fans know. The fans know it.
Yeah. And
it's just poor coaching decisions to put our players in bad situations. Look, everyone's going to talk about Dak sliding. He should have slid. No, it's. I mean, overall, when it comes to Dak sliding, I agree. The overall smart quarterback move at that moment would have been to slide. But look, you need to score. You don't want to. All we would have done is basically have the Packers call timeout first and go on the 1, and then it would have maybe even let us score. Yeah. You understand? So all we would have done is take that timeout away, which, by the way, and I know people say, oh, it's just a timeout, not a big deal. The Packers used that timeout on their last drive to win the game on that 3rd and 8 when Rodgers escaped the pocket and was able to get a first down. And that play, guys, cost us from going into a chance to go into overtime or win the game. That would have been one of the 2 options because they would have to get the field goal. I know Mayo missed a sack and so did Irving, but The person who was at fault was Justin Durant on that play, guys.
Yeah, go back and watch it, guys.
Watch that play.
Keep your eye on Durant.
Yeah, number 52. And again, I love him. I love the way he plays, but he messed up on this. This was the Deacon defense, and Anthony Hitchens came in on a blitz. Really, it was to watch the running back. 33 Adams bounced out, and when he bounced out, Hitchens was right on him like he's supposed to. Hitchens had a great game yesterday, guys. Hitchens followed him out, and he went out and down to the right, while 52 Justin Durant. He's supposed to be watching the quarterback. Rodgers was already out of the pocket, scrambling in between Mayowa and Irving.
Durant
literally he went to the left side where the running back went, number 33, and let that side open. That was his job to do that. Durant blew that. It cost us I guess that play specifically cost us the game in the sense of going into overtime at worst. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of plays that hurt us this game, guys, but a lot of it has to do with coaching. Yes. Okay, that play right there by Durant is a player mistake, not a coaching mistake. So that's on Durant. But we shouldn't have been there in that situation in the first place. And again, we use a timeout. The Packers do not run twice with the ball. They don't run ever. You understand? They have to then be aware they don't have that timeout anymore. That timeout changed the way they ran that last drive. That's a huge thing by throwing that ball on 2nd and 2 on the 11-yard line with the ball, grounding it out 17 plays, or at that point maybe 14 plays, 15 plays at that point. And we decided to run the ball. I mean, to pass the ball, not run for the first down. Again, according to the way the lineup was set up, it was an easy first down. Even if not, it would have been 3rd and inches. You run twice and get the first down eventually, and you just use more time off the clock. Plus, you have 2 timeouts if you're the Cowboys. So you really control the game. The game is over. You control it. You win it. But no, you throw the ball, stop the clock, and then you score. You happen to score on the next play, which I can't really fault. I will not fault Dak for that, even though it could have made a little bit more intelligent play by taking a knee. Would have been extremely intelligent to do that. But in the heat of the game, you got to get, I can understand why you go for the touchdown. I would have gone for the touchdown and just in the play, But those other 2 penalties against our defense, which the other one is the Anthony Hitchens face mask. These things are accidents that occur. Yeah. They still happen, but somehow it happens to us a lot. It's a discipline thing, guys. I really do think and a well-coached team has great discipline. A team that has no discipline is not poorly coached.
I agree.
And these things ring true through our Cowboys with the Garrett era throughout, from Romo and so on, from Barber and so on. You guys know T.O. and all that. Guys, it's been a catastrophe for the most part when it comes to, and I guess not T.O., but when it comes to Jason Garrett being our head coach, he's shown us nothing in the years he's been there. And it trickles down to his staff, and it trickles down to, I guess even to a way like the players already kind of know what's coming. And it's really sad to see. I hope I'm wrong, but sorry, guys, my rant over. Go ahead,
guys, the Riveter. No, what we do is during the game, you're getting our live reaction. We're not analyzing the game. We're not really breaking it down. We're just watching the game, enjoying the game. And again, sometimes we see things, but afterwards is when we really break it down. We sit down, we actually watch the game again. We analyze the game. We gather our information as far as injuries on players, things like that. And again, official Dallas Cowboys news, they, give many different opinions. And guys, we have our own opinions. We disagree on plenty of things. So again, I guess we just sound that good.
No, I mean the Riveter. Again. I understand what you're saying. I can see how that comes off that way. In the game, we're watching the game and we're commenting on what we think during the game, during the play.
If you watch
it's off the
any of our
cuff,
other
guys.
videos, though, guys, we've been saying these things for the last 3-4 entire season so far.
Yeah, and again,
some of these problems we're saying are not new problems. They're very consistent problems. And honestly, the one thing that we're saying that I feel like no one else is really saying is, the coaching staff has got to go. I mean, actually, I'm sure a lot of you guys and fans are saying it, but I want to hear someone inside of the Cowboys say that the coaching staff is responsible for part of this. I want them to finally take some responsibility because, guys, I want to take a quick look at our future and the games that we have coming up, but until our coaching staff can make the right changes, I got to say I'm pretty worried. And again, with the schedule we have coming up, guys,
it's tough.
It's tough. So first of all, of course, after our bye week, we have the 49ers. I mean,
they're a tougher bad team than they're not a great team, but they're a tougher team than you think, and they could definitely pull out a win at home for them. It'll be in not in Candlestick Park. That's the old stadium, but it'll be in San Francisco. So Cowboys better be ready for this game. It's not going to be easy, and this is supposedly our easiest game left on our schedule. So better win this damn game.
So, and Cowboys 42 wants to know what happened with Cheeto in the fourth quarter.
He was hurt, guys. He only played three snaps. He did well, though. I will say he was there. He made good tackles. He stopped a wide receiver screen play. Cheeto is playing great, but just he needs to get out there. He got injured. His hamstring, again, another strain. And now we have to wait to see what's happened. There's no real news on him from today. They did say Sean Lee, though, who's the other injured name, the big injured name, and Chaz Green, I guess, because he didn't play. He couldn't fight through his little hip injury. So, but when it comes to Sean Lee, he was out there practicing this morning, guys, in the Cowboys facility in the camp. So, Sean Lee is rehabbing. He's going to be ready to go against the 49ers. No doubt in my mind, unless there's any kind of setback. Hopefully not. Chaz Green, there should be no excuses for him. He should have played this game. And then
I feel like he kind of wussed out of playing.
A little bit. It's time to kind of get ready to get away from the Chaz Green project, I think, a little bit. I don't know. I just don't really like his attitude. And then you have, Awuzie's injury, which
so Desmond Morris makes a good point. Coaching and the lack of attention to details, guys. And that's where all these flags come from, too, where, a more disciplined team wouldn't be getting those dumb flags.
Right. And I want to talk, because Cowboys have brought something about the linebackers and Jalen Smith. Mm-hmm. I want to say about the linebacking core. Guys, Sean Lee, and guys, I know if you watched the game, Anthony Hitchens yesterday, he played a fantastic game. He's coming back from a very bad injury. Could have been out for a lot longer, and he's back.
The last time we saw him was in training camp.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Well, the Raider game right before the half. And that's when he broke that bone that basically J.J. Watt did and Des Bryant did last year. The point is, though, is that he came back. He helped a lot of things there in his spot. He couldn't really help Jalen Smith or Wilson, Damian Wilson, or Kyle Wilbur, who played a lot in the beginning until he was blowing a lot of plays and missing spots. But Jalen Smith was a step late. I agree with the Cowboys abroad. He was also, Jalen Smith was out of position. He kept taking the wrong angles. Here's the deal, guys. Hopefully Sean Lee comes back. Mainly the Cowboys use, for the most part, for the majority of the time, the Cowboys use two linebackers. That's going to be Sean Lee and Anthony Hitchens most of the time. That's who we need out there on the field. And, of course, I think Jalen Smith is going to get to play 15 snaps or so a game in certain positions, certain possessions, certain down and distance situations. So you'll see some Jalen Smith, but nothing like you've been seeing 70 snaps here. And, no way, and he should not be. And then you have, Damian Wilson, who is a very good run stopper, horrible pass defending linebacker, good linebacker for stopping the run. But that's it. So, he's one-dimensional. You have him for first down maybe. And that's what I'm trying to say. These other guys, you got Jalen Smith, you got him, you got Durant, who's a specialist kind of player, a fill-in guy for a couple of plays. But as you can see yesterday on that play Rodgers ran on 3rd and 8, that got him into touchdown range, really, out of field goal or field goal situation to a touchdown situation. And that was Justin Durant, who will blow some play sometimes. And it's unfortunate. He's usually pretty good at that, but he messed up yesterday. So, it's a lot of things that we have to work on with those linebackers too. But if we keep our main two in there with Jalen Smith making an appearance, Wilson making an appearance, we need Hitchens, which did great yesterday, and we need Sean Lee back.
Yeah, so let's switch gears real quick because Corey brings up a very good point. I want to hear about the interception and your opinion. So, Terrence Williams. Guys, Dak, this was one of Dak's better games. Dak was having an excellent game, really on target, not too many of those weird high passes that we were seeing a lot more in the earlier games. And right in Terrence Williams' hand, guys, this is unfortunately all on Terrence Williams here. He needed to catch that ball. It was right in his hands. He let it go right through, and Green Bay was able to take that and literally run with it. So you can't really say much more about that other than Terrence Williams. This isn't the first time we've seen him do it this season. It's not the first time we've seen him do it in general. But again, it's starting to feel like the Cowboys receivers, and I'm going to include
not just him.
No, I know exactly. I'm going to include Dez in this.
Of course, Dez drops a lot of passes.
Exactly, and not just that, but at critical moments, Dez dropped a touchdown. He
calls interception against the Broncos.
So I'm tired of saying. I feel like it's kind of the same old story, and I feel like that's kind of across the board with all the Cowboys.
Sorry, John Lopez, but no, the season's not over. Neither of us said the season's over. I don't think I did.
No, but we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat things for you and tell you, oh yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, we're going to go all the way, guys.
As I said in the beginning,
not going anywhere.
As I said in the beginning of this stream, that we still have very important divisional games.
Yes.
We have to win those. We win those games, we're setting ourselves up to win the division to make the playoffs, and that's a different story then. But we need to get the ship right, and we need to get everybody out there healthy. We need to get the coaches coaching better, whatever it takes. Absolutely. I don't know what it is. That's a major issue in our team. I'm not saying it's the only issue, but it's the major issue. And this has been week after week after week. And for me, and for us, but for me especially, it's been season after season after season seeing Garrett do this.
I'm tired of the robotic comments. We know who we are. Really show me. I'll be donating. So thank you so much, DJ Crown J. Again, guys, as you can tell, I don't know if for you guys who have been watching for a while, as you know, this is our first live stream with 2 microphones. They're one of our first daily live streams, and that's thanks to DJ Crown J and Cowboys Abroad,
DJ Crown J,
who donated
as
to
well.
our Patreon. And guys, if you do want to continue to support this channel and continue to help out and improve the channel,
we'll get new stuff,
check out our Patreon link in the description below. And of course, the #1 way you guys help out is just by being in the chat, hanging out with us,
hitting the like button,
this video, subscribing, hit the notification bell, guys. I know we're all kind of dying and waiting to see what the heck is going to happen with the Z case. As soon as we know, guys, we're going to be breaking the news on our channel.
And we do game day live streams, guys. Every time the Cowboys play, we're here for the whole game with us and our family.
Yes,
so
and we will be doing a live stream this weekend. We're thinking about doing the Giants and the Broncos game, but
let us know what you guys want to see.
We'll go ahead and leave it up to you guys if you want to see a different game.
Giants are 0-5
right now. So, yeah, I mean, I was going to pick that game because I'm like, oh, it's going to be an exciting game, but I'm not sure how exciting it's going to be anymore. So, guys, definitely let us know what game you guys would rather we stream this weekend. We will have Little J and Little G here as well, so they'll be popping in and out of that stream as well. And, Football Sunday, we'll definitely keep you updated on all of the Cowboys news throughout this bye week as well, guys, even though they are
a lot of resting up, guys,
lots
for
of
sure.
Resting, but again, we'll definitely keep our eyes out mainly on Sean Lee, and hopefully this extra week of rest means that he'll be ready to go for that 49ers game and beyond.
If we have everyone back from injury, I don't see us losing to the Niners. There's just no way we can lose to them. We got to impose our will.
He's also around the corner. I mean, he's closer to week 8, week 9, right? Something like that. Yep. So I know he's eligible at week 8, but guys, we'll go ahead and see from there. But another guy,
it might be a good boost to our offense. We need something like that. Maybe Witten, it's time for him to I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong because he had a good game yesterday. So did Beasley. Obviously, had a great game. And again, these guys, we seem to be clicking on all cylinders. We were doing the right time to pass and the right time to run. And either way, guys, for the most part, even in the first half, we didn't run that great. We still ran the ball well enough, in my opinion, to continue not abandoning the run, which I think we did throughout the game. Especially, third quarter, we didn't get a chance to run. But in the second, in the early quarters, I think we passed too much in some situations.
I think in general we just pass too much in too many situations.
Put ourselves in situations where we have to pass.
But again, I think that comes down to, again, the coaching and just the decisions they make. But
right. So, I mean, if you look at it like this, guys, and again, I'm going to reiterate it, the issue is with the coaching. It was not a Dak option play. It's called a run pass option, a RPO, which means the quarterback can either give it to the running back or pass the ball. Or sometimes he could also run the ball if it's open. But the way they score a touchdown.
Yeah, but the way that the offensive line was blocking. So, guys, there's usually 2 different types of blocking they do. One for passing, one for running. And the way that they blocked was kind of a passing.
Right, when you stand up like this with your hands up, you're looking for the pass block situation. Yeah. When you come out and you start using your hands coming up, pushing forward, that's a run style block. Exactly. The Cowboys came up as a pass play, which means that this whole thing ties into
now,
it's
guys,
a coach's call.
Exactly. Do you really think that the head coach would just leave it up to the quarterback? Remember, he
did 1 week.
I'm just saying he did 1 week, but I'm saying in this instance, it's such a critical game against this team with everything going on. Guys, this decision was approved. This came from the offensive coordinator to Coach Garrett, to Garrett himself, who gave the okay, who gave it to Dak. The rest of the team followed the instructions, did exactly what the coaches told them to do. And that's all I'm trying to say, that in a critical moment like this, there's no way that this was just Dak deciding to pass the ball. That's all I'm saying.
If it was on Dak, I would call him out on that.
Exactly, I would absolutely, guys. But I just don't feel like it was all on Dak.
It was on the offensive coordinator or whoever passed it through. If it went through Garrett, either way, Garrett gives the blessing, so to speak, to his offensive coordinator, whether it goes to him or not.
Had a fantastic game again.
Fantastic.
This is the Dak that I love seeing.
And I don't count that interception. You can
that interception was not on Dak.
And talking about that play, though, I do want to talk about that play. And I was saying this yesterday. during the game. For first down we ran, we got 3 yards. Second down, we threw the ball, it got intercepted, and it ran in for a touchdown.
Yeah,
So
which,
again, this is what I'm trying to say is that's coaching, guys. And again, yes, I know you don't want to keep it predictable. Oh no, but we were running the ball. You saw what happened the next time we got the ball. We drove the field, and in 10 minutes, 8.5 minutes, we scored a touchdown. We dominated running the ball. We need to be predictable against teams that can't stop the run because they let them keep bringing guys in, and then we'll pick them apart slowly.
Yeah.
We did it. We did a great job that last drive, just keeping the drive going.
Yeah, and Dallas Cowboys football news. We did talk about our defense, but that's kind of the point that Dallas Cowboys has always been a team where our offense was the driving force. And he's saying that why the offense isn't the issue. Why are we talking about the offense? Talk about the defense. So, and again, it's not about that. The point is that
the Cowboys offense, in the way that the Cowboys are built.
Exactly,
this team,
they carry the team.
Yeah.
They're the ones that do the bulk of the work. And again, to leave your bad defense, I'm gonna say it, you're not as good defense to carry your team in such a critical moment. Again, leaving Aaron Rodgers with that much time to score, here's
what I'm saying. Let me put it in better words, I guess you could say. And again, this is what I think you're trying to say, and also what I'm trying to say too. I guess similar to what you're saying is that our strength on this year, not the Dallas Cowboys from the doomsday defense, and not when we were in the 90s having the best defense in the league. I'm talking about right now. Our defense has been built this way. We are bend don't break. Okay, and we have to. We cannot. The Cowboy defense is not a defense to be relied upon for this year's team.
Yeah,
and that's a fact that every team in the NFL knows, and every fan in the Dallas Cowboy Nation knows. Now, our offense is the power. Is the part where the team is their best. That's how you win games, through our offensive line and our running game, and through Dak and through the offense and as a whole.
Now he is saying
bad play calls put the offense in situations where now people are saying Dak should have taken a knee, or why did Dak throw that pass? Well, no, it was a coaching call.
Well,
bad coaching.
He is saying that Broadus said it was a run pass option, and Dak was the one who chose to throw it. Now, guys, like we said, if Dak was the one who made that decision, then he made a horrible decision, and maybe that was what the heck were you thinking?
Maybe that was no, but see, I disagree. Yeah, and again, I know you're saying about Broadus because I heard it, and the thing is this though. It was a passing play, and that's my only point. I don't care if he's supposed to throw to Dak or somebody else. My point is that he threw the whole play, the whole offense knew it was a passing play. They knew it was a pass. It should not be that. Number one, you should not put that situation into even a run pass option where you're giving Dak even an ounce of that option, because you want to run the ball no matter what. Run straight up the middle and run the. You need 2 yards. Well, if you want to do run pass options, fine. Just tell them do run pass option, but run the ball. But you know what? The offensive line knew the play. 90% of the time, that's a quick play. You don't have to worry about passing like that. So it could have been a bad decision by Dak to throw it to Dez Bryant. Maybe so. I'm not arguing that. I'm talking about the play itself was designed to be a pass. That's the coach's fault, not Dak Prescott. And that I have a problem with. I don't care what Broadus and a lot of the Dallas Cowboy talking heads in Dallas Cowboy media. I say Broadus and Hellman are probably the two not the least biased ones, but the rest of them, they're on board with Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett until the day he gets fired, and they talk the crap. And I'm saying I don't listen to them, and they definitely back up the coaching staff over all the talent we have on the field. And I'm not saying some of it's not on them, like the mistakes by Mayowa, mistakes by Hitchens, but they had good games aside from that. It comes from discipline from the coaching staff, and they don't ever want to say that. None of them ever make that mention. I made that comment on Twitter yesterday.
Someone here in the chat, I don't remember who it was, they kind of made a comment saying that you can tell that it was our defensive coaching staff that has a problem because, and I actually said it, remember we were watching the games, and I said, man, all the Cowboy guys that we let go of are having great years. Brandon Carr is doing great.
Barry Church
ran
Claiborne.
back something. Claiborne had, so we had these guys that sucked on our team. I'm going to say it. They stunk. And now they're on these other teams and they're doing great. Is there something here in the Cowboys that's actually, that's not allowing these players to become great? And at that point, when you see the only consistent thing has been the coaching staff, you have to stop and at least take a look and see how they might be contributing.
We wasted enough years with Romo. We wasted. I agree, of course, and we wasted a lot of years with Romo sticking to a stubborn game plan, and then we'd go back to Parcells,
trying to force the Cowboys to be something they're not.
Parcells introduced him to us, so we can't say anything about Parcells. Parcells' style was the way we wanted it. We wanted that style. He was there for what, 2 years under Romo's tutelage or whatever. He was under Romo was under his tutelage. After that, it was Wade Phillips, who was Marshmallow Camp. It was just like fun and games, and you see no discipline there. Yeah. And then we had Garrett, and Garrett. He's a little more yeah. I mean, he's a yes man for Jerry Jones. So was Wade Phillips, but more so Jason Garrett.
Yeah, I think he just kind of talks tough, and that's it. Like,
a lot of it is talk, no action. There's no adjustments. We've seen this for over 8 years. He's been coaching. He doesn't have any. He has an inability of making adjustments. Him and his coaching staff. I don't know what the issue is. I don't see the adjustments. He did really good the first half. I thought the coaching staff did a good job the first half, and I'll give credit where credit is due. First half, they did play well. They challenged at the right times. They called timeouts at good times. They were ready. They readied their team on defense better, on offense. The whole team looked better, and the coaching staff was on top of things. In the second half, we just fell asleep on the coaching side of things as well. And the offense was ready to roll because you saw our possessions. We never really got stopped, guys. We stopped ourselves that third quarter drive, that third quarter drive, by passing the ball deep to Dez and trying to make a home run play. No, run the ball, take up the time on the clock, and score some points. We do that, we win easy. We scored 31 points against the Green Bay Packers, and Aaron Rodgers scored 28 points for touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Okay, 28 points, or you want to take up the 4 point extra points, even though 2 of them were missed. The point is that Rodgers contributed to 28 points, 4 touchdowns for the Packers out of the 35 points they had. And I mean, I just think that's a great job by what the Cowboys had on defense without Sean Lee and with all these rookie guys. And I got to give big. And someone said about we need a great cornerback, an elite cornerback. We don't. And I see here, Rodgers says we need elite coaching. That's correct. The elite cornerback, Jordan Lewis, guys. This guy's just a rookie. He's got his third game, fourth game, and he's our best cornerback. And he looks like he couldn't be an elite cornerback one day. Not right now. Now they're jumping the gun. We need a Woozy out there, healthy. And Xavier Woods looked good. He's
still not there yet. But
Xavier Woods looked good, but he did blow a couple plays on the last drive, missed tackles. So, again, he's a rookie, though. And, again, I'm not trying to excuse it. But the rookie situation is where the inexperience comes in. That's why you run the clock out on offense and you take up as much time as you can on the clock. The Packers have 1 timeout, and we didn't even make them use that. So that changed the whole idea of the game for the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. He's thinking, I can win this game now. And when you see him, you hit the ball to Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to drive the whole field, and you're giving him a minute 13 or whatever it was with a timeout. That's not even a tie. He's thinking more than just a tie game.
Yeah.
He's thinking touchdown. And again, if you make the Cowboys, if you run that ball, no matter what happens on that play, you run that ball, the Packers have to use a timeout.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole different mindset. Now you have maybe under a minute left. Let's say we score the next play. You have under a minute, or let's say you have a minute and 10 seconds. They can't really run the ball too much because they can't risk being caught in bounds. They got to spike the ball. They're wasting their play. They're wasting time. Now they have timeouts. They can run. It changes the whole game plan for that last drive from the Packers.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to go ahead and start wrapping up the stream here, guys. We have been streaming for about an hour. If this is the first time you are joining us, make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't. We do post daily content on the Dallas Cowboys and general football news, and we do post our reaction to every single Dallas Cowboys football game, guys. So make sure to check us out. Hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss our breaking news on Ezekiel Elliott, guys. We will be posting as soon as we know.
We'll go live for that for sure. So make sure you keep the notifications on. We're just as anxious
and waiting as you guys.
And I was thinking,
we'll definitely be breaking down more of this game tomorrow, and again, just kind of going even more in depth and talking more about these topics.
We also eventually we'll have to turn it around this week and say, even though it's a bye week, and this is what sucks the most, guys. It's a bye week, and we got to stay with this loss with us for 2 weeks. It's exactly. At least 2 losses in a row that we had that were bad. I know it's not as bad as the Giants' feelings right now, but at least their season's over. We still are hanging on to hope.
Exactly, but Manolo Espinosa, the Packers were more injured than we were. That's not even an excuse. I don't even want to.
They were missing their running back. They're missing their linemen. They were all banged up. They're missing some cornerbacks.
Exactly. They had people get injured during the game. I mean, guys, that's it. No excuses, Cowboys.
No excuses.
That's it. No excuses.
And so make sure you guys hit like. On the stream, guys, that helps promote the channel. Watch the ads if you do. That helps the channel too, guys. With this whole new YouTube apocalypse thing that they got going on with these little yellow things where they don't monetize the ads. And again, those things help us get mics, improve. We have a USB basically adapter that gives us more ports so we can plug more things in, like our camera and our microphones. again, that comes from the little donations just by watching these videos. So we appreciate anything you guys can do. Of course, your comments and questions and things are so awesome, appreciated. And of course, donating to Patreon at the bottom, you see just pass through there. Zero God, I'm not Zero God. I know you said you were going to do it, but
Cowboys Abroad,
and DJ Crown J, guys, thank you guys so much. You guys helped us get this other microphone, and all of you helped us just keep everything rolling alive. We appreciate all you guys.
We'll definitely be talking a little bit more about and just general Week 6. Definitely breaking down a little bit more the NFC East, since we will have more time to look at
the Eagles teams. Play Thursday.
So
keep that in mind. I'm definitely going to do a little stream on that Thursday, and while I'm watching that game, probably giving the Cowboy news, but also watching the Eagle Carolina game. That should be a good game.
Yeah, guys, and if you do want to donate, make sure to check out the link in the description down below to our Patreon account. Even $1 helps out the stream, guys. As you can tell, we are, slowly but surely upgrading and just making the stream better for you guys, and a better place to just hang out and join our Cowboys family. So
and watching the game days and everything,
joining us here. We'll definitely, again, I really wish we had happier news throughout the week, and we'll definitely just continue to kind of
something I want to think about
talk about this.
Something I want to think about, as far as just kind of throwing it out there, and not for this stream, maybe the next one or this week as well. Just tonight, just what you guys think, and tell me what you guys think. The Ezekiel Elliott, imagine if he was suspended, right? I mean, I don't know if we'd be 0-5 right now, but if he was suspended, I'm saying, then we're not really utilizing him that much. At this point, we'd be almost getting him back at this point. Now he might get suspended. Do you guys think it's good to suspend him for this year? Maybe it's a wake-up call to the running backs?
Exactly, so.
Or maybe you think it should be good for it to go till, next year, starting a new season with our best player basically out for 6 weeks, possibly. Again, I don't want to put too much on him staying and beating the case with the federal case and the whole thing with the NFL, because usually you lose that. So we could be hopeful as all we want, but if in the end,
the way that I see it, if he loses it this time and he's immediately suspended, I guess it's not the end of the world with the way the season's going so far. So at this point, I would just say whatever.
I think it actually makes us better, actually, because now it becomes more of a guessing game with our running backs, because right now they're teeing off on our running backs. It's not going to make us better as a team when it comes to the best players, but it might change things up. And defenses now have been game planning against Ezekiel Elliott. Now all of a sudden, whoa, what's going on? Now we got all these new running backs.
I just feel like they'll just completely shut down our run game and force us to only pass. But either way, if it's the opposite and it means that he does play all season, but it's put off until next season, then I would say at least we have time to prepare for it. But unfortunately, on the flip side, it means other teams can prepare for it as well. So it stinks, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. We saw the Patriots. Brady was suspended 4 games, came back, wins it all.
Yeah, but they were 3-1 with him gone.
I guess, but that's my point. We'll have to see also what our schedule is next year and how it kind of looks, because again, if we have easier teams in the beginning, that might that makes a difference. So, or of course the third option, Zeke wins it all and there's no suspension and he plays this whole season and he's going to play next season.
That'd be great.
And that would be great. At that point, guys,
tell us what you guys think about it, guys, because it's definitely some good questions. I was thinking about, what are you guys' opinion on that? And again, we're going to be talking more about this game tomorrow. We'll be talking about injury updates, of course. The only one really, I told you the 3 guys, Awuzie, Lee, and Chaz Green. If we lose to the
49ers, if the whole coaching staff doesn't get immediately fired after that game, then I don't know. What do they have to do? What do they have to do?
I'm gonna hold back my comment. I'm gonna hold back my comment on that because again, I've already said they should be fired. But again, firing them right in the middle of the season, I can see the issue with that. That would hurt. But at the same time, can it be worse than what's happening now? I mean, maybe a fresh start is what the Cowboys need.
John Gruden wants to coach again, right?
I mean, he did. Yeah, I don't know if he still wants to. Bill Cowher would be good.
Either way, guys, obviously we got Garrett and company probably at least till the end of the season. So for now, let's just really hope that they can make these adjustments they need to make. And again, we'll continue to keep you updated on all the Cowboys news. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already on this stream, guys.
Yes, please do.
And as always,
forever,
never forget,
go Cowboys!
Oh, yeah.
She messed it up.
Because you did it too fast. Let's try that again.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is a 2-mic thing. It's throwing me off, guys.
Go Cowboys! There we go. That was better. Take care, guys.
We'll see you guys next time.
Peace out and go Cowboys.